Welcome to the Charlie's Cavalry Coaches Show. I'm your host, John Moses. Now we'll talk men's basketball with head coach Ted O'Taling. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Coach, post defense is one of these things that I think has been a strength of your team all year. Talk a little about London Barek, Eric Anderson, and Cyrus James, and how they really do in the post.
Yeah, they've done a great job, and we were visited by a former coach early in the season, and he really helped me pick up some of the finer details of post defense. So I'll give a lot of credit to him. But also just our length and athleticism at the rim, and just with how we cover angles has been a huge focus of ours. And we have intelligent players, so it's been great to see them have a lot of success guarding one-on-one. And we hadn't had the double, which we did a lot last year.
Well, Eric Anderson, I discovered last night, is fourth in the conference in rebounds. Gotta
Yes.
say, something that really just jumped off the page at me. What's something that surprised you about Eric this year?
Yeah, he's just he's a very, very talented individual, but he's very, very intelligent. And he's not only fourth in rebounds, he's second in the league in defensive rebounds, which I think is even more important. Because he's on the perimeter quite a bit for us on offense, he's not always around the basket to get offensive rebounds. But for a young player to be second in a really good conference in defensive rebounding, I think that's just a tremendous feat. And he's been really, really consistent in that area. He's got great hands, he's got good size. He does have some weight to him that can hold off defenders and get the ball, which is very unique in college basketball.
Well, with London Barek and Eric Anderson both ranking in the top 10 in conference in blocks, how has that changed your perimeter defense this season?
Well, it's changed in a sense that I think those guys trust what's going to happen behind them. So, a lot of teams have emergency defense where it's just charge takers, and we're fortunate enough to have emergency defense with charge takers and shot blockers. So, when guys do get driven around, which does happen, especially with the hand checking rules in college, we've been able to prevent people from scoring at the rim. And sometimes even when we don't block shots, just their length to contest really does affect the shot at the rim.
Now, Coach, if we'd have sat on this show at the beginning of the year, and I would tell you, you're 14-12, 10 wins in the conference, wins over Stonehill and Franklin Pierce. What do you think your reaction would have been to that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think when we talked that first show, you and I were trying to figure out what we were going to be like, what our identity was going to be. And I think with so many new players and so many young players, we have forged a little bit more of an identity as the season's gone along. We've really hung our success on the defensive end, and that's really, I think, where we've had where we've gotten most of our wins. We've been really, really diligent and really precise on the defensive end. But I'm really happy with our season. 14 wins is the fifth highest win total in the last 20 years here at the University of New Haven. This will be the first postseason appearance for us in the Northeast 10 Conference. So we've had a year of just a lot of success, and hopefully we can continue that here in the postseason.
So let's take a closer look at some highlights from a recent game against Southern Connecticut State. A very big game here, but how'd you feel like your offense did in this one?
We really struggled to make shots in this game, and credit to Southern Connecticut. They played a matchup zone. I thought we got good looks, but I also thought we missed a lot of easy shots. We were 7 for 17 from the free throw line. Normally we're at 72%. So it was just one of those games where the ball didn't fall for us. That was a great move by Justin. He's really improved getting inside the paint and scoring. But this is a game, too, where we dominated on the defensive glass. We out-rebounded by 16. We had 18 offensive rebounds. But you're going to have games like this where the ball doesn't go in sometimes. I thought our effort was there, and I thought our commitment to get back our missed shots was there. Unfortunately, just didn't go down the whole time.
Well, we finally arrived at the end of the regular season, and you're confronted with a very familiar opponent, Pace University. Now, what does Pace do well?
Yeah, Pace is a very physical, very good paint-driven team. They're going to throw the ball inside almost every possession. Keon Williams has really done a great job here towards the end of the year, giving a post presence to score, get fouled, and now he's making free throws as well. But they have very big and physical inside players, and they have a very good point guard who's been an all-league selection here as of yesterday. That really does control the game, get it to the right spots, but also can shoot and finish as well. So we're going to have to really defend the paint, really defend our backboards. And then on the other end, they're really, really good at really taking away the three-point line. In our last game, we were 0 for 11 from 3. And for a team that does rely a little bit on the three-point shot, we're playing against a team that's the best in our league.
I think Samir McDaniels is a very important factor in this game. And let's take a look at a highlight here at just something that really illustrates what he does great. This is him getting on the offensive glass.
Yeah, Samir's it's great to have him back. He's a great kid. He's, again, another really intelligent player, but he does get to the paint, whether it's post or drives. He has a unique ability when he does miss to get his own rebounds. But, he can do a lot of different things. He can really handle the ball. You see him getting here in the paint. And he's tough enough just to pursue the ball and get the ball. He's got strong hands. And obviously, we love his production, especially on the offensive glass.
Well, I think you touched on it a little bit, but these two matchups with pace, very similar games, very physical, half-court defensive games. What other themes have you seen between those two games?
Yeah, I think the two areas where we really need to improve moving forward with pace are, number one, we have to limit our fouls. And it's not the fouls that happen in the paint with bodies crashing into each other. It's the hand checking on the perimeter. It's the fouls that happen 90 feet from the basket. And then the other thing, too, is we have to correct our turnovers. Pace is one of the best teams in the league at taking care of the ball. For both teams, I think, struggle to score. We just can't give turnovers away and let that lead to easy baskets. But those are the two areas where we focus on and get better. But I do expect another very competitive game.
Yeah, I look at pace, and I see a very similar team to your team. Half-court, tough defensive team, but will struggle to put it in the basket sometimes. What other similarities do you see between your team and pace?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think both coaches, myself and Coach Harder, really focused on the defensive end this year and really have tried to make it a half-court game, make people tack 5-on-5. They've done an exceptional job of taking away the three-point arc. But yeah, I think on both ends, very, very similar. Inside focus, trying to protect your backboards, and make it a 5-on-5 half-court contest.
So often on this show, we talk about it being a 4-minute game, and sometimes, that's just how it comes down in this conference. You have teams that are so tight. I was really encouraged by the end-of-game execution you had against St. Rose.
Right.
Well, let's take a closer look at the execution down the stretch and that flurry of points at the end.
Yeah, we were in a situation where we were down 6 points, 8 points here within the last 2 minutes. And, they did open up the floor a bit with their pressure. We thought we made really good decisions. Great to see Eric Anderson make a couple threes here late. And then, when we did press them, we did create some turnovers and actually got it within 2 points with about 26 seconds left. But I thought we did a good job getting ourselves back in the game, having a chance again to put pressure on them, being down 2. Unfortunately, they made some free throws at the end, and we couldn't convert, near the end when the shot clock was going down to 0.
Well, Denzel Primus Stevanish, we've hit on him a little bit, but he's somewhere in my top 3 for top point guards in this conference.
Right.
What does he really do well, and how do you think you can control him?
Yeah, I think Jeff Atkins does a really good job defending other teams' point guards, and I think he and Jeff have a lot of similarities. But the one thing he does is he's really great in transition, and not just to score himself, but really to find other players. He'll slice the floor, he'll get some little dribble kickbacks. So he really does control the game in transition, but not with scoring. It's with being unselfish and sharing the ball. And then he's just a guy that doesn't turn the ball over. So he's a high assist guy. He's got over 100 assists on the year, but he's not a high turnover guy. So for that reason alone, he's very, very valuable to that team. And as you know, in our last game, he was, made some really tough shots that were very important to him, including the last shot of the game.
I think one of the biggest matchups in this game is Keon Williams and London Barek in the post.
Right.
How do they match up, and who do you think will have the upper hand tonight?
Well, I hope we do. And, London has had a lot of success against bigger players. I thought we had Keon under control our last game until the last 4 minutes where he got some free throws and he got some baskets late. One was a broken play where he drove and scored. But I think London's size does give a lot of people problems, just his length at the rim. If we can just not foul and guard intelligently at the rim and make them miss and keep them from getting their own missed shots, I suspect London will have some success if we can do that.
Where do you think this game is going to be won and lost?
Yeah, I think it's free throws. Who can get to the free throw line and make a high percentage. And I think really who can value the ball at the offensive end. I think if you were to look at this game, two teams who are really good defensively, it's going to come down to mistakes and easy baskets like a lot of college basketball games. The team that makes the fewest mistakes and the team that gets the most easy baskets probably will win this one. And it just so happens that turnovers hurt you in both ways. It gives you a chance to, it doesn't give you a chance to score, but also gives the other team an opportunity in transition to get buckets. So I think those two factors will be huge, and hopefully we can do a great job and be really detailed with the offense and get a shot each time down.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for your time. And good luck tonight in the conference tournament. First postseason appearance, as you mentioned. Good luck.
Great. Thanks so much.
For more, be sure to tune to NewHavenChargers.com. Or for a completely student perspective, tune to charliescavalry.wordpress.com. I'm your host, John Moses.